Hi, friends. Today we have Abhinav Sharma with us, who is one of our AI course enrolled students. First and foremost, Abhinav, congratulations on making the transition to a deep learning role.
Thank you.
So I'll give you a brief introduction about your background, and then we'll get to the core discussion itself. Okay.
Sure.
Cool. So Abhinav is joining this very interesting startup called as Brain Inc. And within Brain Inc., he's joining the NSL Hub platform, which works on natural language processing and deep learning. And he's joining as an associate solution leader for deep learning and NLP solutions. And prior to this, he spent about a year and a half working at Infosys as a system engineer. And he also was successful in having an internal transition within Infosys to some machine learning projects as he learned all the details and as he was building his skills. And he has done his BTech in computer science from SRM University in 2019. So with that background, Abhinav, once again, congratulations and thank you for taking the time to share your learning experiences and your journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I also remember you from our mock interviews. So yeah, good to see students whom I also talked to on mock interviews being successful at the end. Thank you very much.
I was thinking, okay, I've now talked with sir 2 times. Now I really want him the third time to be on YouTube with my success story. That was my plan.
Cool. Very good. Very good. Happy to see this always. Again, I try and participate in as many mock interviews as possible. But yeah, it's always good to see our students succeed. So first and foremost, I wanted to understand about your interview experiences, both at Brain Inc. and also for your internal transition at Infosys for machine learning teams. So can you give us a brief about what were they looking for? As many details as you can.
So in Infosys, they were basically looking for a guy who can do feature engineering, who can, come up with solutions on the spot and things like that. So at that time, I was doing my first case study, and I showed them my notebook, like, hey, this is the case study. I told them the business problem, and this is how I'm proceeding with it. And they really liked my approach, and they were like, hey, okay, we have this team of 25 people. We'll hire you for it. Let's see how it works out. And since then, I've been in that team, and I've implemented lots of solutions from machine learning to even deep learning.
Very good. Very good. What about the interview process at Brain Inc?
For Brain Inc, we had 4 interviews. Out of them, first one was for machine learning. Second one was for deep learning. Third one was managerial interview. And fourth one was a basic HR interview.
Okay. So can you dive a little deeper into what sorts of questions and what sorts of skills were they testing in each of the technical rounds and also the managerial round?
So again here in the machine learning side of things, they were more concentrating about the theory of how things work. They were more entitled about the mathematics. They asked me why we want the distributions to be Gaussian in our models. They asked me all sorts of these kinds of internal questions, and yeah, I was pretty easily able to give the answers because I've read about them. And then they gave me a like on the spot problem. It was about chatbots. So they gave me scenarios like, we want to automate the suggestions. How would you do that? So they gave me one simple example, like pizza, add toppings, and then cheese, something like that. And then they asked me, you have a new use case, it would be for burger. How would you create use cases for this, given that you don't have them in your data set? How would you create them? So during my second interview only with sir, he told me something about one-shot detection. So I told him, hey, I will just run it through BERT and I will compare it against all the other options. If it is in there, I will. If it's not in there, I will just say that, hey, this is not in the burger. It's a different thing. I'll classify it as something different and pass it just like that. And then we can give some default options. If the person likes the default options, that's great. If it doesn't like default options, then we can get label data from that.
Got it. Got it. So you're trying to map it more like a sentence generation type of task.
Yes, sentence generation type of task. Plus, I combined it with one-shot detection learning.
Got it.
Like how you get a vector and you subtract it. So yeah, he really liked that as well. After that, the second round was for deep learning. In deep learning, he mostly asked about, how would you get out of saddle points? What is back propagation? Simple questions. What is back propagation? How would you get out of this situation? How would you get out of that situation? Deep learning. So for deep learning interview, it was like that.
Okay. So
Yes.
it was mostly a little bit of mathematical intuition and how and why questions with a
How
little bit
and
of
why?
real world scenario based questions.
Yes, correct. How would you handle this kind of situation? It was
Okay.
basically on top of that. So yeah, and for the managerial round, he asked me about my what I did in Infosys, about my case studies, about my assignments, and he thought I was a good enough fit for the company, so he
Very good.
passed me for the HR round. Yes.
Very good. Very nice. Very nice. So again, what was your learning strategy through the last 1 year? Because your 1 year is just about to complete in a few days, right? So
Yes,
what was
correct.
your learning strategy and what was your learning path? As somebody who came from a CS background, who was also a working professional, how did you manage your time? How did you balance everything over the last year or so?
I would say I didn't sleep much.
Okay.
Most of the time I was working till 6:37, and in the night I was studying my concepts and everything.
So till
And
6:37, you were working on your day job, which is the
yes,
Infosys job. Okay.
yes. And in the night I was studying my concepts till 2 to 3 a.m. And after 6 months, I realized, like, hey, I've learned so much, but I don't remember anything. So
Happens.
after yes, yes. So after that, I started revising them a lot, like a lot of them from my handwritten notes, which came in like very handy for me. And also, to be honest, I was not that great of a problem solver since start, because I was taking weeks just to complete one assignment or two assignments. But after that revision phase, after I got a hang of it, after I completed 9 to 10 assignments, it was a breeze for me. Like I could do assignments in one day. So basically, what
Probably
I
that's
learned,
because you built that problem solving ability in the first few assignments and things became easier after that.
yes, that is absolutely correct, because the assignments are really unique. You won't find them anywhere. Also, there is the malpractice thing. So I wanted to do assignments on my own, and as I went on for the assignments, I gained more and more and more knowledge. I was able to understand code even faster than before. And after that, after finishing my first case study, I became little better. And then after the second case study, I became even better. So yeah, so for me, just by doing the assignments, I gained a lot of knowledge. A lot of coding problem solving is what I gained from the assignments.
Very nice. Very nice. So I'm sure you would have had ups and downs in this journey like every other student, right? Sometimes you'll feel like giving up. Sometimes you think, hey, I'm doing very good. So everybody has those ups and downs. Can you walk us through some of your down points and how you tackled them to again go back? Because a lot of students give up at that point, right? So how
Yes,
did you
yes.
tackle those ups and downs that you had in your preparation?
So basically, my journey was during COVID period. So it was even more difficult for me to continue with the course, with the job, with the course, take care of my family as well. So that was a difficult thing for me, but I never gave up because I had support from my friends, I had support from my family. Few times when I was not able to understand, the mathematics, the about the probability, and when you were explaining about the distributions and all, those were not really for me. But I even left them. I left them, and I went ahead, and someone told me, hey, I just got into a machine learning role just by explaining them Chevyshev's inequality. And I was like, okay, this is really important. I need to go back.
Okay.
Yes, so I went back, and then I don't know what just clicked in me, and I never stopped.
Very
I
good.
never
Very good.
stopped after that.
Very
Yes, so
nice.
I was even doing, by this month I will complete this case study. By that month I will complete that case study. By that month I will complete this course. By this month I will get a job. That was
So you're very
literally.
disciplined with your time and effort and very
Yes,
diligent.
yes, because to be honest, I had already wasted my BTech 4 years. I didn't want it to happen again.
Okay, so this was like your vengeance to put more effort in this 1 year, get as
Yes,
much as possible. Very
yes,
nice.
so yeah, yes.
And also you successfully transitioned even within Infosys, right? Just after
Yes,
you finished
correct.
your first case study. That itself would have been a strong motivator for you that, yes, I'm on the right track. I just need to push a
Yes.
little more to succeed finally.
Yes, correct.
Very good. Very good. So any suggestions you have for students very similar to you with probably 1 or 2 years of work experience or freshers who are working in services, IT services companies, on how they can plan and successfully transition to careers in data science, machine learning, or deep learning?
Would be to take small breaks here and there. Please don't give up. Revision is really the key. Whatever you have learned, know the ins and outs of it, like 120%. And the last thing would be, when you are doing something related to deep learning, really check out the weights in the, what's it called? What's it called? Really check out the how the weights distribution is inside, like how the things are happening. Really check them out. Check everything inside in deep learning. That's very important, because that only will tell you how to get out of tough situations.
Okay, so you're basically saying, let's plot the distributions of weights in each layer, see how
Yes,
they look
yes,
like. And if
yes,
there is some
correct.
anomaly, you can debug it and fix it better.
Yes, yes.
Good, good, good. I mean, that's a very sensible way to debug at least some problems that might occur in deep learning. Cool.
Yes, yes.
Very nice, Abhinav. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking your time. Anything else that you want to add that I may have forgotten to ask you?
What happened was, during the last month of my, the course, I really started cramming all the live sessions that the sir was doing. So live sessions about, say, chatbots, or say, identify the speakers, and all of those sessions, they were really helpful in the way that they also developed, they even, heightened my problem solving skills. They gave me more ideas about how to tackle situations like this. Because, yeah, so I was even able to apply some of those concepts in Infosys as well, because we have a data shortage there a lot of the time. So yeah, again, one
So
shot
you
detect.
you
Yeah,
you focused more on the live sessions at the very end of your course in the last 1 month,
yes,
just to improve your problem solving skills and real world, how to tackle real world scenarios.
yes, correct,
Got it. Got it. Got it.
correct.
Cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what.
Anything
Yeah.
anything else that you wanted to add?
Anything else would be that sir also, really push you forward to continuously learn things. Like, he wants you to read papers, research papers. He wants you to, go out there and do things for yourself on your own. So this course doesn't spoon feed you. It helps you to grow into a person who can, basically that thing in English, say, if you give someone food, he will not be hungry for that day. But if you teach him how to fish, he will not be hungry for years
It's
and years
basically
to
the
come.
learning to learn philosophy.
Yes, yes. Constant learning is what sir has, like, really drilled into me. Is that what I really forgot, what I wanted to add?
Cool, cool. I'm very happy that you really mentioned the learn to learn, because this is a skill that we want all of our students to take away from the course, because it's a life skill that will stay with them for the next 30, 40 years of their careers.
Yes.
Cool.
So yes, so a lot of my showings in my resume was, hey, I've implemented this paper, I've implemented that paper, CARNet, UNet, YOLO from scratch, everything, like, yeah. So they were really impressed with my progress in how I'm able to understand the research papers and implement them on my own.
Very nice. Very nice to see this. Very good. Once again, very happy to see you go from a IT services company as a system engineer, again, within the same company, into a machine learning role, and also to a product-based company into their core deep learning system itself. So very, very happy to see this transition. All the very best. All the effort that you put in for the last 1 year, if you continuously even put in 25% of it over the next 4 to 5 years, I see you doing wonders. So all the very best.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine.
Thank you, Abhinav. Thank you once again.